the Indian was so put down. I couldn't realize, I didn't know why that we were put down. I couldn't see why we couldn't be part of the white society. They came in, they had their teachers and different things, and they would have their social events, and they would never allow anyone of any Indian blood at all to ever go to their social gatherings. It was a little better when I was growing up that some of them did merge, but with my sister, they just did not allow them to any. They had dances. Happy Camp was a great place for dancing, and they couldn't keep them from a ball game, because how are you going to fence out a ball game? But they did, and they had the restrictions on their dancing. And I had a very pretty sister. Her name was Velma, and in her she was 12 years older than I. And in that group there were several young ladies, and they were also pretty. I couldn't understand why they would, allow them to be part of the other group. And so they never allowed them. And a white man, excuse my expression, lots of times white men don't like to have you call them white man. They can call us an Indian, but they don't want us to call them anything. And so this white man, which turned out to be my own brother-in-law, his name was Willard, right? And he came in, and he came from Kentucky. And he was surprised that the Indian wasn't allowed on the dance floor or even in the hall. So he and another, and I remember his name was Jack Parton. He was a tall white man. And they all got these beautiful girls for partners. So the white people were having their big New Year dance, and they opened the ball with a grand march. Well, Willard Wright knew about that because he went around to find out about all these things. After all, he was a newcomer, and it was all news to him. So he went around, got others like Jack Parton. I can't remember the others. After all, I was so little. So they got these, gathered up all these ladies, and he said, now when they have their grand march, we're going to be outside, and want you girls to wear the prettiest dresses you have. Well, they made their mothers, and everybody just went to work, and they made them the prettiest dresses that you could ever think of, and these girls were pretty. I think it was 5 of them. So when they struck up the old grand march, these men and these girls marched in and headed the march. Well, what could they do? They couldn't do anything, and as they headed this grand march, so many of the other folks that couldn't stand the Indian went home, and some of it broke them in until they began to mingle, much to the old folks. And I could remember some of the old folks, and these people would go out, and they'd say, well, you aren't going to go out with a squaw? Yes, he'd made up his mind he was going to go out with a squaw. And so that was the way it was with that in Happy Camp. And here in Scott Valley, and you here in Scott Valley, maybe you never heard this before, and maybe you'll hear it if you need to hear it. When I came out here, and I am 85 years old. So I came out here when I got married when I was 16. I was about 19 years old when I came out here, 20. And my husband was a white man, one of the guys from around here. And he had courted lots of these pretty girls, and he had pictures of them. But when it come to bringing me out, he was a little afraid because he didn't allow Indians in any social event.